Hello, fellas. The Mets are tied with the Dodgers in the standings. Yeah, that's about it.
Happy Easter. Just get set up here. Happy Patriots Day.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Good Friday. I went to church on Good Friday
Heck yeah.
with my girlfriend and her family.
It's fire.
I didn't realize that Good Friday is like a super sad day. Like a very depressing day in the church. Because it's the day Jesus dies.
Well, yeah.
So there's no cause for celebration or
Yeah.
rejoice at all.
Yeah, I guess that's more for Sunday.
But now it's Monday and we're going to talk ball, so that's good. So we just got back from Easter break. We weren't here. We're going a little off the cuff, but at the same time, we have a plan.
Oh, yeah.
Take a look at some of the stat leaders of not like Aaron Judge, but like some of the stat leaders that we weren't quite expecting to be here. And then just we're all going to go on a deep dive together and try and figure out what's different this year and why they're doing so great.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see if we have a good candidate to start us off.
Yeah, I'm on ESPN, but I want more, leaders.
I have a good candidate to start us off.
Okay.
Spencer Torkelson
Okay, yes.
is
I like
slashing 288, 392, 638.
Oh, my.
And
He
is
has 7 home runs and
and
7
is
doubles.
tied for 9th in F4 right now.
Wow. Does Fangraphs have, a leaderboard for this? For these Johns?
Yeah. Just go to leaders. And you can sort it by basically anything.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
So just setting this
Little
up.
bit
Spencer Torkelson, 2023, 759 OPS, average. That's not even bad, but it's not great. 669 in 2024, and he spent some time in the minor league. That's below average.
Yeah.
But this year, he is off to a rockin' start.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's good to see. We have to take into account that he's still 25.
Right.
Which I had no idea about. And, I feel like, especially with his market this offseason, there were a few teams looking to trade for him. I remember when Alonso was being stubborn, the Mets were looking into him as a potential option. There's still a lot to love here, and I'm not entirely shocked that he's finally starting to blossom.
Yeah.
But I do find it interesting that it's such a monumental jump because last year he had a 92 WRC plus and now he has a 193 WRC plus. That is by all means monumental.
I will say, though, just as a disclaimer, some of these inflated 20-game numbers, Spencer Torkelson is not going to end the year at a 193 plus.
Right.
Aaron Judge might end it
might.
at 193, but that's leading the league.
Yeah, because he's a robot.
But just having that being said,
yeah,
awesome start to the season.
But with that, he's got a 1.2 WAR, and that's more than his career WAR beforehand from the previous 3 years.
And it's not because of defense.
No,
I'll tell you that for free.
No.
Let's see where they have him playing. He's playing first base.
Yeah, let's see what he's doing defensively.
He's probably doing okay.
0 fielding run value, so
0, yeah.
About as mediocre as it gets. -1 outs above average. All right.
-1 out, lateral toward third base, and then 0 outs everywhere. Or -1 against left-handed batters.
Okay.
Well, I guess they do hit it harder over there.
Yeah.
The thing I'm looking at his Baseball Savant. The thing that jumped out at me for Torkelson is his walk rate is up 4% more than it ever has been.
Really?
He's up to, it was 9.2, 9.8, 8.7, but he started this season at 13.4. He's also striking out the most he ever has, but
it's like Tyler O'Neill.
If your walk rate takes that much of a jump, then it's okay to strike out more because the ratio is kind of
yeah. Well, Tyler O'Neill does the same thing. Whenever he's striking out more and walking more, he hits better.
He has his best seasons.
But
and don't call me crazy, but Tyler O'Neill and Spencer Torkelson are kind of similar hitters.
Yeah,
they swing really hard. They pull the ball in the air. They use their big right-handed muscles
absolutely
to hit homers to left field. His barrel rate is also up. which is never a bad thing.
No, way up too.
Some of the other stuff's not that different. His sweet spot percentage, which is, I will say, it's not a stat I go to.
Yeah, neither.
But it's up. It was 31 last year. It's 40 so far this year.
Yeah, his squared up rate is still pretty low, but again, not one that I go to.
Right. And I'm going to look at some of this bat tracking data. This is not really my forte.
Where the heck even is that?
It's on Baseball Savant. Bat speed. He's got above
bat
average
tracking.
bat speed against the StatCast bat speed distribution.
Wow.
This is pretty crazy.
Wow, this is blasts.
Blasts?
Yeah.
Is that a stat?
That's
Blasts?
a statistic.
What's a blast?
Hold on, let me click the little question mark. Definition: a blast in StatCast terms is when a batter squares up a ball and does so with a high bat speed.
Understood.
So, like, I guess whenever you square it up and you're not just like throwing your hands.
Mm-hmm.
While squared up refers to a batter getting close to the maximum possible exit velocity for a given swing,
Right.
based on the speed of that swing and the pitch velocity. Geez, this is really complex. It does not strictly have a bat speed minimum requirement, and a blast then is more valuable and a rarer kind of swing. Okay, so it's basically perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fair enough. How many perfects?
Well, this is his contact percentage on blasts.
Shouldn't
So-
your contact percentage be 100%?
I don't know. It just says contact percent and swing percent, and it's 17.7 and 13.7.
I feel like if you make a blast, then you should hit it every time.
I don't know.
It might be a little too deep for me.
Yeah.
All right, Spencer Torkelson,
Yeah,
you just keep walking a little bit, I suppose.
You keep walking and keep getting blasts.
There are some Sacramento Athletics that are off to some good starts.
Are we going to Tyler Soderstrom?
Yeah, we can go to Jacob Wilson too, but we're going to go to Tyler Soderstrom. Jacob Wilson already got a mention from Quinn Spike Blackman.
Oh, yeah.
So Tyler Soderstrom last year in 213 plate appearances, which is like a third of a season, 744 OPS, slightly above average, maybe not for a first baseman. He's still 23, and he's one dotting so far this year, and he has 9 home runs.
Yeah. His Baseball Savant page is pretty impressive, too.
He is just crushing the ball.
Yeah.
94th percentile sweet spot rate, 96th percentile expected slugging percentage, which is adjusted based on the quality of contact and the ball flight it takes. Yeah, he's been
I think
he's been putting some good swings on it.
Yeah, I think the stats worth to know here are like average exit velocity and like hard hit percentage. Those are the ones I always kind of go to when I'm looking at like if a player is going to regress. Like, is he hitting the ball hard or is he just kind of like throwing his hands out there?
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he leads the league in home runs, so he's definitely hitting the ball hard. But you know, he's walking at an above average clip. He's striking out at a just above average clip.
It's not even that bad though.
52% or percentile. And then he's not really chasing much. And I mean, he's swinging and missing a little bit, but who cares, honestly?
That's every big power guy swings and misses a lot.
Exactly. So the fact that he's getting so many barrels, the fact that he's hitting the ball so hard, and all of these different stats lead to no regression. I mean, does he have rookie status?
No, I don't think so. I think 213 plate appearances is enough to get it stripped from him. But he has like all-star status, like knocking on the door of like some other awards or maybe Silver Slugger.
No, he's not a great fielder, but he'll figure that out. He's 23. So, yeah, good for you, Tyler.
His launch angle's way up. So I think he's trying to elevate the ball. Like he's up to 13 and it was 9.5 in his like 60 games last year.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
It's under all the red bars.
Well, I guess that makes for more home runs then.
Right, which is good. And then his sweet spot is higher too, which I guess is not rocket science. If you hit the ball on the big part of the bat, it's going to go.
Yeah.
That's why all the torpedo bats are coming in.
All right, yeah, there you go.
Is he a torpedo bat guy? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think most larger humans
don't
really need them.
The guys who already kind of hit the ball hard already didn't really make the switch.
Yeah.
Let's go to Brendan Donovan.
Yes, you go to Brendan Donovan. I'm going to tell you if Jacob Wilson's taken a walk yet.
Okay. Oh wait, I know the answer. It's no.
It's no?
Yeah, I was showing it to my brother yesterday.
It's still no.
I thought it was really funny.
82 plate appearances, no walks. Let's go to Brendan Donovan.
Brendan Donovan.
Shout out to all of our Cardinal fan friends. Yeah. I bet first time I see Andrew Karen this afternoon, he's going to go up to me and be like, so how about Donovan, huh? Yeah. What do you think? And I'll be like, I don't know. Good. Yeah.
1.2 WAR already is really impressive.
It is.
The thing is, he's doing everything. Like, if you look at his Savant page, he's not really hitting the ball that hard.
He never has.
But honestly, that's not really his game. He's still hitting it above average barrel percentage and hard hit rate. But he's getting it on the sweet spot, I guess, and he's getting squared up balls. I guess it's just his bat speed is so slow. It's in the 10th percentile, so the ball doesn't really come off the bat very hard.
But he compensates for that by, like, never striking out.
Yeah, exactly. He has a 90% K rate. He doesn't walk at all, but that's okay, I guess, if he's gonna keep spraying hits.
Yeah.
And I think the most important part about his game is he kind of does everything. He's 95th percentile base running run value, and he's 91st. Oh my God, yeah, 91st percentile in fielding run value.
Also, a crazy thing is if you go down to his sprint speed, he's not fast.
No, he's not.
He's 35th,
which is really interesting.
35th percentile in sprint speed, but still one of the most valuable base runners.
Yeah.
Which shows all the kids out there that it's all about effort.
Right. And brains.
Yeah.
Yes.
Donovan, I mean, we've seen this model of not walking, but also not striking out and not swinging hard work. Arise has put it to work a few years. Bo Bichette, I mean, he hit the ball a little harder, but he's kind of a guy like that. These kind of high average guys that swing a lot in the zone and aren't very patient. He's always hit for a high average.
Yeah.
So he's slugging it a little more so far this year.
Just kills the Mets
than he usually is. He's killing the Mets, which I guess is okay. I mean, it's fine for me. But his hard hit rates are marginally up. His average exit velocity isn't really. So I'm curious if Brendan Donovan, if this is a petering out over the summer into the high 700s OPS that he normally is, or if he can kind of keep this up and be a mid 800s. Because if this is a mid 800s OPS season and he's playing as good of a second base as he is, this is like 4 WAR.
Yeah.
This is maybe 5 WAR, honestly.
Yeah. I think because of his max exit velo and hard hit rate, we'll see some form of sustained success.
Yeah.
Because they're still pretty significantly up from his previous years.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I'm curious to know is if he's a torpedo bat guy, and if that's what
looks like he is
changing everything, because everything else looks the same, but it's just the batted ball. Like, literally, it looks like his max exit velo and his hard hit rate are a result of his barrel percentage going up. And a barrel percentage going up is really easy to do when you just shift the barrel on your bat.
He's also a candidate for it. All right, here we go. I looked something up, and they gave me an answer.
Really?
From MLB.com. There was an article about this, about him specifically. While not technically a torpedo design, unquote, Donovan and architects at Old Hickory Bat Company made alterations to his bat so that the largest and densest part of his barrel is in the area where he contacts the ball most often.
So there we go.
So it said it's not a torpedo bat, but they also then described what a torpedo bat does.
Right, exactly.
I got a picture for you. It looks kind of similar. It doesn't thin out at the end though.
Huh. So it's just Omega barrel.
I thought, yeah, I guess.
That's really strange. All right.
So he's almost torpedo bat.
Yeah.
And it's working for him.
Yeah.
He's in the ball harder.
Yeah.
This is a real thing.
It is. And that's kind of what you're gonna see with these torpedo bat guys
Mhm.
if it's working for them, and it's basically you're gonna see that barrel rate go up. You're gonna see max exit velo and hard hit rate probably go up a little bit,
Mhm.
and then from there, I mean, everything else is probably gonna look similar because everything else is similar. His whiff rate is still really high. His K rate is still
It's good.
really good, or whiff rate being high percentage, like so low. But you get my point. And
He's hitting the ball.
yeah, exactly. So
How
good for
about Jonathan Aranda of the Tampa Bay Rays?
how about him?
Jonathan Aranda, let's see, he is hitting 355,
Okay.
438, 677 in 20 games so far.
Was he the guy that like low key killed? Oh wait, no, that was a different game. I was talking about Arise, but I think I got Arise and Aranda confused. Anyways, sorry.
Luis Arise, I hope you get better soon.
WRC plus a 223. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, OPS plus over or OPS over 1100. Yeah,
That's a lot of red.
he's over the 94th percentile in expected weighted on base average, expected batting average, expected slugging average, exit velocity, barrel rate, hard hit rate, and sweet spot percentage. That's going to be good. He's up to 61% hard hit rate, which is just absolutely bonkers, especially as a guy that is usually in the mid 40s.
Yeah.
He's cut his strikeouts almost in half from 2 years ago. And his strikeout to walk rate is one of the better ones in the league. He is just
What?
smoking the ball. Exit velocity's way up. Launch angle's a little higher. How many home runs? He has 4 home runs.
What happened?
Yeah,
Respectfully, what did he do?
last year he didn't even play. He hasn't even like ever played that much
Yeah, because like he has no percentile rankings in Savant
in the years past.
except for max exit velocity and speed. But
Let's see. I'm gonna watch some random videos.
are you watching his home runs?
Yeah, I'll watch the home runs. This is one from 2023. So he's very open. Oh, it's like a fine swing, but it was like a long swing.
Okay.
All right, here's his first one this year. He's a little less open. He stands more upright. So like he was like out here and like very like leaned over the back of the plate kind of.
Uh-huh.
And now he's a little more like upright. Maybe you can see the ball better.
I don't know.
I'm not a hitting coach,
Neither am I.
but he's crushing the
I
ball.
just think it's crazy that he's crushing the ball so much. Like literally, these are like Aaron Judge numbers, expected numbers, and actual numbers.
Seriously.
And then he's not striking out, and he's not walking, or he is walking a pretty good amount. So we're seeing a lot of a change of approach here. This is like almost like if he swung the bat fast, this is like close to a Juan Soto baseball savant profile.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really impressive.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly pretty slow, and he doesn't really use his legs much on the base pass, so that's why his WAR isn't going to be very high.
Yep.
And then fielding run value, he is above average. But
It's always the most interesting thing. Like, if we let's take Donovan, Torkelson, Soderstrom, and Aranda.
Yeah.
Well, actually, let's take Donovan out of it. The 3 first basemen.
Okay.
Who do you think is the most sustainable? Like, who ends with the most F4 at the end of the year?
Wait, it was Torkelson.
Torkelson, Soderstrom, and Aranda.
I think it's going to be Soder. Let me get back to Soderstrom. I don't think it's going to be Torkelson.
Yeah.
Man. It's hard to tell because none of these guys have really had any like success before.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. These people
like,
blow up in April with no track record.
right. It's not like they're like coming back into form.
Yeah.
I want to say Tyler Soderstrom
I think I do too.
because I don't know, maybe he's just more exciting and maybe that's why I want it to be that way. I think it's also because he's younger. and he's kind of like molding as a player.
He's also hitting a bunch of jacks.
And he's just hitting home run after home run. But man, Aranda is killing it.
Yeah.
Like, this is insane. This is a really impressive Savant profile.
Also with the amount that he's like not getting lucky.
Yeah.
Like, because he's hitting the ball so hard. Like, these are the types of numbers that you see and sense that they're gonna take a while to come back down.
Yeah. I think one thing that's interesting is, like, he's hitting 355, but his expected batting average is, like, not lower at all. Like, he's getting a little bit lucky, but he should be hitting 340.
His expected slug is higher than his actual slug. His actual slug's 677.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Good for these guys. Good for them. If I'm gonna pick one person to have sustained hitting success, I'll probably go to Aranda. But in terms of everything else, I'll probably give Soderstrom the nod.
Aranda kind of feels like a guy that can have a high average, but not a lot of pop.
Yeah, he's got slow bat speed, so he's got to really get it.
Soderstrom feels like he could be the next, like, Matt Olson. Like, maybe not defensively, of course, because Matt Olson's a wizard on defense.
Not anymore.
Or at least he was in his prime. But, like, Soderstrom could be the hitter that will never hit more than 240 or 250 and will hit a bunch of home runs, but will strike out a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of see that mold. And maybe that's just because he's 23 and needs to get his feet wet still.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hitting 298. He's not striking out a ton. But I don't think in terms of, like, the best hitters can slug and also hit over 300.
Yeah.
And I feel like Soderstrom's going to fall short in the average department. And then when it all settles out, Aranda will fall short in the slug department.
Yeah. I think you're right.
But he's playing at that spring training field.
Maybe
the ball goes there.
I think one thing worth noting is the amount of red on Pete Alonso's Savant page.
Yeah.
We don't really have to talk much about Pete Alonso because he's obviously a big name, and we don't really need to go there. But
yeah, but he's doing great.
I mean, just take a look.
He's hitting the ball harder than anyone.
Yep. He's slugging the ball more than anyone.
No, he's been off to a tremendous start.
Not striking out.
He's not striking out.
He's
not striking out
very,
at all.
very unlike Pete Alonso.
Wow.
Get that guy a drug test now.
This is off character, Pete.
He's always been a guy that walks pretty well.
Yeah.
But he just would always go down on strikes.
He's walking more than he's striking out.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness.
Is the first baseman back?
I mean, he's not showing any signs of slowing down. Like, it's
the
just
first baseman.
It's just
back.
every game feels like a 2-for-4 with a double and a bomb.
Yeah.
And it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, he's got 27 hits in however many games we played. What are we? 15, 7?
He's played 22
games.
3-4 is a 346 batting average.
I mean,
he looks to be third in WRC plus. He's third.
Who's ahead of him other than Judge?
Jonathan Aranda.
Oh my gosh. Let's go.
So right after Pete on the Fangraphs wins above replacement leaderboards are Jung-Hoo Lee and Geraldo Perdomo.
Oh my God. I did not know he was having a good year.
Geraldo Perdomo just got extended. I anticipate he's up here because he's playing a really good shortstop.
Surely, right?
He's already accumulated 6 outs above average, which leads the league. He has an OPS of 834, which is over 100 points better than when he ended the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. 3 defensive runs saved, too.
He's a 6'2" switch-hitting middle infielder. Does that remind you of anyone on the Diamondbacks?
Yep.
Do you think that they gave Geraldo Perdomo a bunch of money and just told him to hit with Ketel Marte every day, and now he's blowing up?
Maybe. Sorry, I'm pulling up his Baseball Savant.
Yeah, because when he came up, he was a notorious not hit the ball hard originator. Bottom 3% exit velo, bottom like 2% of hard hit rate, and now it's not all the way up, but it's getting higher. He's also a slow bat speed guy.
Yeah. I think what they told him is they said, hey, you don't really hit the ball that hard, so let's stay in there for as many pitches as possible.
Right.
And just not strike out. And
He's not striking out.
And walk as much as you can. And that's exactly what he's doing. Maybe they didn't tell him that, but maybe they did. Because he's just walking so much, and he's not striking out at all.
Does he have the best strikeout rate? 97th percentile. So he's close. I'll figure this out. Lowest strikeout rate among qualified hitters. Luis Ariz at 2%.
Okay, yeah. Wow, 2%.
He's here at 6th. Josh Naylor's not really striking out.
Good for Josh Naylor. Yeah, he's good in launch angle sweet spot percentage. So there's that. His XWOB was high. His X batting average is high. I like looking at those two statistics. He's not really hitting the ball very hard, but it looks like he's kind of doing it with the right launch. So
yeah, if you can if he can kind of mold into like the professional hitter, so they call it, and not be the strongest guy or the guy that swings the fastest, but be able to kind of win your pitches and find your spots.
Yeah,
that's still worth something.
I mean, he's still 25, so the fact that he's like maturing enough to, not strike out as much and walk a lot, the bat can follow up from there.
This is a good sign for him.
Yeah.
Also, it makes me think a little off topic here, but what do we do about Jordan Lawler?
Oh, I didn't even think about it.
Because it looks like we have a middle infield in the desert.
Yeah, I mean, you just push him to third.
Push him to third.
He's pretty fast. You could give some reps in the outfield.
Ketel Marte's looks like he's been hurt. He's played an abbreviated number of games.
Because, what's their infield right now? You got Suarez at third right now? I mean, Suarez is kind of hitting the ball well, but do they have like a bona fide DH?
No, it's like a Randall Grichuk, Pavin Smith platoon.
Put Perdomo at third, put Lawler at short, and then
Perdomo not going to move off third if he's defending, or move off short if he's defending like this.
I guess, but what's his face? Lawler's probably got more range.
Yeah, he's probably a little faster.
He's way faster.
Pavin Smith's crushing the ball. Thank you very much.
Good for
I guess.
Smith, but you're going to have to make some room. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could put Lawler at third, or maybe you could put Ketel at third. Ketel's played pretty much every single position in his career, so I'm sure he'll be comfortable.
I'm trying to see if this will tell me. Will this tell me what positions he's played? No, just in the major leagues. Lawler, when he was up in the major leagues at the end of 2023, he was really bad. Yeah. Granted, he was like 20 years old. He was literally 20 years old. He only played shortstop.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be where they want him to play.
That's probably the plan.
All right, well, thanks, Perdomo. Thanks, Diamondbacks.
What about Jung-Hoo Lee?
What about him?
Had some injury struggles. This is another, so I'm seeing a trend here. The unsuspecting heroes of April all have slow bat speeds.
That's so weird. I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's like these guys don't really have that much success for one reason or another. And
Just
the guys who can swing the bat really fast typically tend to have more major league success. So
just after we got all this
these
data
guys are due to
about
regress.
blasts and swing rate and things like that. Jung-Hoo Lee has a slow bat speed. He's playing a good center field. He is hitting for average, which is what the scouting report on him was before he spent a lot of last year injured, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So what's happening? I guess he really didn't play. He only played like 40 or 50 games.
Yeah. I don't really know what's good. I think this looks a lot like Brendan Donovan's page.
Yeah.
like really, really similar. Average exit velocity is really low. Barrel percentage isn't extremely high. Launch angle sweet spot is good. Batting average is really, really good.
Strikeout to walk ratio is pretty good too.
Strikeout to walk is great.
At least so far.
Squares the ball up well, I guess. But he just doesn't really get that much exit velo, so his hard hit rate and whatnot are down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm pretty standard here.
I feel like his ceiling though is much closer to league average.
Yeah,
than what his stats look like in the first 25 games.
That's
or whatever.
The thing is he's got to get his speed up, or like bat speed, and he's got to get stronger because it really is looking like he's going to finish the year with like a 720 OPS and like a 300 batting average, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Especially because it looks like he's a really valuable base runner.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get on base that much, maybe get the walk rate up a little bit.
Right. Or even if you don't walk, if you walk at least a little bit and you hit 300, then your on base percentage is gonna end in a nice place.
Right. Exactly.
It gives very leadoff hitter from our childhood vibes.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe not the modern Yandy Diaz.
Yeah.
Big leadoff hitter.
Yeah. Totally.
But yeah,
I think that's pretty much what you expect from Jung-Hoo Lee. Good success early, but kind of snuck some home runs out in that baby ballpark over there in the Bronx. And yeah,
that little park. Did he have 2 home runs against the Yankees?
I think he had all 3. Wow. He might. Let me check the stats.
Check the stats.
I think ESPN will say.
Let's see. Cedric Mullins might be a similar story with Jung-Hoo Lee. I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Let's go over to Trevor Story. Once I'm done with figuring out when Jung-Hoo Lee.
I will give Cedric Mullins his credit. He is slugging the shit out of the ball, but he's just getting lucky.
Home run. Yes, he had all 3 of his home runs against the Yankees at the Yankees.
Were they all pulled?
I don't know where they went, but ESPN is telling me.
Oh wait, I can get this. There's a spray chart right
here
there's
a spray
Savant.
Chart. So 2 of them would not have been home runs in his home ballpark, and one of them would have been. This one's a freaking nuke.
That one is a freaking nuke.
Actually, this one was 29 out of 30 ballparks. Oh, it's not a home run in Oracle. I guess the wall was too big.
Yeah.
Let's see what the other ones were. This is fun now.
These aren't
10 of 30 ballparks for his other one.
These home runs aren't like really like
8
pokes.
of 30 for the other one.
Okay. But they're not like down the line really.
Right, yeah. But don't pitch for the Yankees because you'll give up home runs that aren't home runs in other fields.
Yeah, that's true. So Trevor Story.
Yeah, let's let you have the analysis there.
This is one of the weirder success stories so far because his strikeout rate is 28% and his walk rate is 3.5%, which is terrible.
Yeah, what?
But he's still hitting 318. He's got 5 home runs.
Oh my
God,
what the heck?
2 of them were in the same game that I was at on Friday, and that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
He's always been a guy that struck out a good amount. It's no different so far. So the walk rate is not sustainable if he wants to have a good season. He's off to a exciting start. I'm very happy to have him back. He's a comfortable presence in the lineup, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see where it ends up, especially he spent the last 2 years basically on the injured list. He's got 2 months worth of games over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So if he keeps this production up where he's one of the better offensive shortstops in baseball, that's great.
Yeah.
If Trevor Story plays a healthy season and hits for league average, I will take it at this point.
Yeah, literally. I just really think it's interesting because his standard numbers really don't correlate with what we're seeing here.
Yeah.
Because his on-base percentage is not too far away from his average, but with the walk rate, I literally thought it would have been like 5 ticks above it.
Right.
And then like
It's so low.
he's slugging the ball really well, so I really would have thought, at least these first like 6 or 7 numbers on the Savant page would have been higher. I would have thought his hard hit rate would have been just a tad higher. I would have thought the average exit velo would have been way higher. And I guess he's another low bat speed guy, so there's that.
Yeah, he kind of has a longer swing, which I think he might be doing to use the wall out in left field.
Yeah, but it's just really weird to me that
doubles does he have?
His squared up rate is like so low. Like he's not squaring the ball up well at all. So maybe like there's room for improvement there. So maybe he starts squaring up the ball well. He'll start hitting 500-foot nuke missiles.
I mean, based on these numbers, there is a clear either room for improvement or a sign of immediate regression.
Yeah.
So which one are we gonna do?
Right. Exactly. And it's almost as if they kind of told him, hey, we know you're having these struggles here, here, and here. Just go up there and swing.
Right. Maybe it's something he's not even thinking about.
And, just go up there and have success. Kind of looking at his home runs here. I'm kind of trying to gauge where they are. And it looks like most of them are gone at most ballparks.
Yeah, I just looked. He's lowest one.
Freaking nukes. Where was this one not gone? Coors? Not a home run in Coors? Lies. I don't believe that.
Did they take the atmosphere into account when they do those calculations?
I think they do.
You have to, right?
This one was also not a home run in one ballpark. That one's at Chase. That makes sense.
Was it the dead center one from Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bomb.
Yeah, that was a missile.
I thought it was gonna be a flyout.
Yeah.
Because it was right after 2, like, you know how whenever someone hits a routine big league flyout, all the fans are like, oh. So it was like after 1 or 2 of those, and I was like, I don't know if it has it. And then I looked at Michael Taylor was playing center field, and I looked at him drift, and he looked up, and I was like, oh, it's going. So that was pretty great.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Do we have some pitchers to talk about in our last 10 to 15 minutes here?
Let's talk about some pitchers.
I think we have to talk about Chris Bassett.
We have to talk about Chris Bassett. What is going on?
Reed Mancy told me to talk about Chris Bassett too. He came up to me on what day was that?
I don't know.
When did we have our game? Wednesday?
Yeah.
He came up to me on Wednesday and was like, "What is Can you please tell me what's going on with Chris Bassett?"
Oh my God, he throws so many pitches.
He throws 1,
7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What even are these? We got sinker. We got cutter. We got curveball. Four-seamer. ST?
Sweeper? Maybe?
Well, let's look at the movement plot.
That's a sweeper.
That's a sweeper. Slider.
Hold on. See if it says here.
Fastball.
Oh yeah, that's a sweeper. Does it tell me what?
Wow. So literally 7 pitches.
Sweeper, and then wait. Oh, the FS is fastball sinker.
Fastball sinker, yeah.
And then fastball four
is
seam.
fastball 4-seam.
And then there's like a gyro slider in there. Okay.
So he's throwing the sinker more than.
Oh
no, FS is split finger.
What?
Because splitters are technically fastballs.
That's super stupid.
That's what they say. Split finger fastball, they used to call it. Even though a splitter seems to us much more in the changeup family.
This is a split finger. Oh, that's filthy. Jeez. All right.
Let's see
So the K rate is up.
That's good. That usually works.
Let's go to his percentage rankings.
Oh, it's way up. Wow.
Where the heck are his percentile rankings? Here we go. Oh, I lost him. There we go. Yeah, so what's up? His average exit velo is actually down, which is really interesting, but it's really just he's striking out way more guys, and he's not walking anybody. He's got tied for his highest K rate of his career, tied with that 2021 season when he was an All-Star with the A's.
He's usually been pretty good in the zone, if I don't remember correctly.
He's striking out a lot more people. He's generating a lot of whiffs, a lot of chases, which is very unusual for him.
Arm angle is also down.
Arm angle is down.
Arm angle's down.
Where do you see that?
It's in the depths of Savant. They got a little page with his arms, and they got him all right there.
I bet you that accounts for more horizontal movement, and then from there.
Well, I think
I'm interested to see if he added a pitch.
as pitching gurus that we are, his arm angle's down, and his sinker is way better than it was last year.
That makes sense.
Which makes sense, and that's probably why he's getting more activity. He's
Oh.
probably getting a lot of hard hit ground balls.
I wish it was easier to see movement on pitches in comparison to last year. Oh, here we go. Oh wait, that's spin direction. Total movement. I don't really care about total movement that much, but we'll figure it out. Sinker. Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna try and see if his 2024
Okay.
repertoire is different.
Yeah, so his movement profile last year was like here. It was like his four seam was riding and running, and it was going like up and in, and he had that big time curveball that was going super down, like a typical curveball. And this year he's trying to go more east to west.
Yeah.
He's still throwing that four seam with ride at the top of the zone, but the sinker is really getting him a lot inside.
Yeah.
And the split fingers giving him a little bit of help down there too, down at like the 3-4 o'clock range. And then the sweeper again is just really what's helping him out. So
yeah, the horizontal movement has gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
he's really in an age where everyone's coming up with the fastball. He doesn't throw hard enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So he's really taking advantage of how much east-west he can get.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the splitter is tailing more than it's like fading or dropping.
Yeah, I want to know his usage rate or his usages. We shouldn't spend too much time here. I'm just getting nerdy right now.
You look at the usage rate. I'll look at who else we need to talk about.
It doesn't tell me.
We need to talk about Nick Pivetta.
We need to talk about Nick Pivetta. We need to talk about Kodai Senga. I need to talk about Kodai Senga because he's leading the NL in WAR in ERA right now. Yeah, let's talk.
Nick Pivetta gets so much ride on his fastball.
Yeah, let's talk about Nick Pivetta. I like watching him pitch because he's got that righty fastball with the big time curveball.
Yeah, he throws his fastball at the top of the zone.
He
just snaps a bunch of things off of it.
God, how much IVP is this? Does it tell me? Anyways, yeah,
it's a lot, and he throws it 50% of the time.
He gets like
too.
well over 20 inches of IVP at times, and he gets like negative 15 on the curveball.
IVP is when you throw a fastball and the ball is basically, it doesn't actually go up, but it fights gravity to perceive that it is still rising or riding, as they say. And 20 is good. 20 is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that clarification.
No problem.
Looks like he's really just relying on the mix of those two, and then putting in a sweeper in there. I bet you that sweeper's a somewhat new pitch for him.
Yeah, he tried it a little last year, but he didn't have a great feel over it. It was always the fastball and the curveball for him.
Yeah. He actually, it looks like his usage is down on the sweeper.
Yeah, he threw it a good bit.
He threw it a lot
his
last year.
His cutter was really bad.
He actually threw it more than his curveball last year, and now he's throwing it at about the same clip.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is good, honestly, especially if you're pitching to righties. If you have two different movement profiles on your breaking ball, that can keep hitters guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they're also, I assume they're at different speeds a little bit.
But, yeah, I mean, for pitchers, it's kind of hard to look into all this stuff so quickly because you have to look at how much they're using their pitches. You have to look at if they changed movement profiles, if they added a pitch. And you kind of really got to take a deep dive to see what's going on. And with our time allotted, it's a little bit hard to do that.
Yeah.
But essentially, looks like he's using the curveball more. It looks like he's really getting the four seam in there a lot more, and looks like all of his stuff is a lot more lively. I don't think his velo would be up, but
it isn't.
yeah, but he's generating a lot of whiffs, a lot of strikeouts. He's not walking much, and yeah, I mean, good for Nick Pivetta.
Yeah, good for Nick Pivetta. Also, the other thing to keep in mind with pitchers is that it kind of can take a while to settle itself. Like, he's made 4 starts.
Right.
Most pitchers have made 4 or 5 starts.
Yeah.
So it's a long season, and
sure is.
2 bad starts or even like 2 bad weeks for any of these hitters, like, they can change things a lot still.
Yeah. Kodai Senga.
Senga.
I'm excited. Kodai Senga's been really good.
Yeah, he has.
He has a .79 ERA.
He's got 7 pitches too.
Does he now?
He doesn't. There's.
I will say
there's 3 of them less than 5% usage.
Yeah, I will say, I haven't made it to a Kodai Senga start yet. I've watched every other Mets pitcher pitch the baseball this year except for him. I don't know why, but
this is the one you want to see.
I haven't watched it yet. So
what is
yeah.
FO? Forkball.
Yeah, Ghost Fork.
Fair enough.
I don't know what's
That's
really
getting a lot of
changed.
use.
I will say we'll see some regression here because when you take a look at the average exit velo and you take a look at hard hit rate, they're kind of just above middle of the line, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also not getting a lot of ground balls. So when they're hitting the ball hard and they're not hitting a lot of ground balls, that makes for typically a lot of hits.
Yeah.
Although his xERA is still really high. It's 2.6, or is still high in percentile. But yeah, it's been really, really nice to, have him go out there and look like himself. I think this is more of what we were talking about earlier, where it's like there's a lot of room for improvement as opposed to room for regression. But obviously, he's not going to hold a .79 ERA. But even if he holds a 3 flat, that's still pretty spectacular.
Yeah. My worry with Senga is he's not a ground ball pitcher.
No.
And his fastball's not bad, but it's not really that special.
Yeah.
So he can't, and he hasn't been really relying on it that much, but like 4 seams and cutters for him are susceptible to get hit in the zone.
Yeah.
So I think over the summer as it plays out, if he can be really sharp with them, then it's not as much of a problem. But if he runs into teams that are ready for fastballs in the zone, then that's where he's going to struggle.
Yeah, totally.
But the forkball is awesome. If he can, he's kind of been throwing a little sweeper and a little slider. If he can find a pitch to break to his glove side, that'll help out his fastball a lot, because it's another thing that hitters have to be on for that they haven't had to be on for in the past.
Yeah, I think one thing that the Mets pitching lab is really good at doing is adding that really effective sweeper.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with Severino last year. They've done it with McGill. They did it with Minaya a little bit. He already kind of had one, but they kind of fine-tuned it. And I think that's what Senga's missing, is that really effective glove side off speed. He's got the cutter really working for him, because that one's a little bit slower. It's, I think, in the high 80s.
90.2 average.
He threw that one at 92. Yeah. But, yeah, if he can get something going that way,
Exactly.
he will be perfectly fine.
Right. He could be one of the best pitchers in the league.
Yeah. But as of right now, especially that he's sitting 95, which, I mean, 95 is still pretty freaking gas.
It's pretty fast.
But
as a starter, too?
Yeah. And so for right-handed pitcher average, the average fastball velo is 94.5, so he's just above that mark. But, yeah, I mean, good for Kodai. I think we'll see a little bit of regression, but I also think we'll see the Mets pitching lab kind of fine-tune some things, and I think he'll be quite all right.
If he
stays on the field.
If you have a hittable fastball, for lack of a better terms, then getting a additional off-speed pitch would be a big help for him
Yeah.
over the course of a longer season, because some of the other guys that are up here, like in the WAR leaderboards, like Skeens or Crochet or Reagan's, like their fastballs are their number one.
Yeah.
Because they're outlier pitches.
Yeah. And even like Webb, you'll see this with Skeens too. You'll see this with
Like sinkers.
Clay Holmes. Yeah. Power sinkers are really playing. Wheeler's got a big time one. Max Fried has a sinker in there. Scooble throws a big time sinker. Michael King is really known for his. Sinkers are really playing now. Cutters are really playing now. And then, yeah.
As we kind of wrap up here, I'm just going to take a look at Jesus Luzardo, because he has been by WAR the best pitcher in the league, which is FIP based, I will say F4 is, and he's given up like one home run. He's four seam, and then he's just snapping a slider right off of it, and the movement profiles are just.
I think one thing that's really awesome is all of his pitches are above 10% usage, so he's using everything, which
that is really
honestly
cool.
a really good sign, because that means he can throw everything effectively. I will say the changeup and the sinker are pretty much the same pitch, but his changeup is tailing.
It's slower.
I think
they move the same, but they're different
him,
speeds.
What I talked about a lot with Bassett is Bassett used to be here, now he's here. Luzardo's doing the same thing. He's everything's going a little bit more horizontal now. Oops, sorry, Mike. And his off-speed run value isn't that great, but he's getting a lot from his four seam and his sinker, and that's a good sign. Throws pretty hard.
He does so hard.
I really like Luzardo. I hate that. I hate the Phillies because they're hard to root against this year.
They have a lot of likable players.
They have a lot of likable players. But yeah,
those were some of the guys that are off to great starts.
Yeah, that maybe some of you didn't even know about.
I bet it'll stay good for some of them. It won't stay good for all of them, unfortunately, because that's the game we play. But we wanted to take the Monday before, because we can't really say anything about teams yet, given that it's still April, and highlight some guys that are off and running.
Yep.
So without further ado, we're gonna wrap this up, and we're gonna see you next week.
Yep.
Peace.
Go Mets. Go Sox.
Go Sox. Happy Patriots Day.
Yep.